All right, hey, welcome back to Working Class Customs YouTube channel. Welcome back once again to Stable B. It is still our favorite place. Almost. We like racetracks better, and we're gonna get into that tonight, but for now we're in Stable B. And what we're gonna talk about tonight is very near and dear to my heart. I am not fast, and there are many people out there that think that they're fast and they're not fast. Motorcycles are fast, especially big 1000cc or more motorcycles. They are very fast, but just because you have a fast bike does not mean that you are fast, and we're gonna talk about that tonight, and we're gonna talk about how maybe you could get a little bit faster by doing one very simple thing, which will eventually lead you down a list of many, many things. So we're gonna get into that in a little bit. What I need you to do right now is please down below, click the subscribe button, throw a like on the video, and then leave me your comments and questions that you have throughout the video. And I'm only gonna touch on a couple little things tonight, so I highly suggest if you want more info or you're interested in what we're talking about and what we do and what this channel is all about, head over to our playlist, JKMoto Podcast. We have a weekly motorcycle podcast. We cover racing news, motorcycle news, track riding, club racing, Moto America, MotoGP, a little bit of World Superbike, Supercross, Cole, maybe. We cover everything. Also, go check out our merch, pick yourself up a shirt. It would help us out a lot and help us help you. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so what I was just kind of starting to talk about and what we're gonna get into tonight is how you, oh man, left my key in my bike. That'll kill a battery every time. But how you might not be as fast as you think. Now, if you are the fastest guy out there, or you're already racing motorcycles, or you're Josh Herrin, or your Mark Marquez or whatever, then you can go ahead and click out of the video. We understand you're fast. You drag your knee a lot, you drag elbows, shoulders, whatever else you drag, we got it. But for the rest of us that are kind of average motorcycle riders or even new motorcycle riders, I feel like we all go through this kind of natural progression where we get a bike and we're slow. We know we're slow, we just got a bike. Unless we're just daredevils, there's those people in the audience also, and I understand that, and you guys are the best, and I envy you a little bit because you're insane. But for the rest of us, majority of us anyway, there's a natural progression. You go from being slow to you start taking some corners, start doing some group rides, you get yourself a bigger bike, get yourself a 600, maybe get yourself a leader bike, whatever it is. You start hitting the canyons up, you start doing crazy things in the canyons, you're weaving through traffic on the freeway, whatever it might be. You did the tail of the dragon once or twice. You're fast. You're not actually that fast. And I'm gonna tell you why, and I'm gonna tell you how I figured out that I wasn't, and how I'm still figuring out that I'm still not as fast as I thought or think that I actually am. I already asked you to subscribe to the channel. If you're new to the channel, you haven't seen any other videos yet, I suggest you go check them out. This is kind of, probably should have came out on the channel a long time ago to kind of discuss everything. And I'm gonna talk about this bike a little bit, give a little bit of backstory, but there's more on that in other videos. I suggest you go check them out. There's more on all these different bikes. We have a lot of stuff, so please go check them out. But this is a 2008 Gixxer 750. This was my first motorcycle that I bought. Big bike for a first bike, but that's what I wanted, right? And it was street legal, 100%. It used to be blue with green rims and all this cool stuff. And it was street legal. It was my motorcycle. It's what I rode on the road. And the second day I had it, I topped out 6th gear on some road down in Mexico. That was sweet. That was fast. 100%. That was fast. In a straight line on a public road in Mexico. Not the safest thing you can do. There could be deer, there could be cars, there could be all this other stuff. And as soon as you go starting to hit a corner is where all that, yeah, I think I'm fast, starts to kind of go down the drain. And as we talked about, you progress to where you're taking corners a little quicker, and you start riding with buddies that it's their first bike and you're doing way faster than them and they can't keep up. But you hit a point where you think you're the fastest thing on the street, and you might be. If you haven't been to a racetrack, get yourself to a racetrack, and that is the point of today's video. If you have not done a track day, you gotta go do a track day, and there's many reasons why, and I could talk about that for ages, and I'll probably put a few more videos out, and like I said, go check out the podcast. We talk about it all the time, but tonight what we're gonna talk about is how you're gonna show up to a racetrack, and unless you're one of those crazy people that just goes nuts right off the bat, you're gonna feel pretty slow. Even if you're a crazy canyon carver, you're insane, you take roundabouts at 90 miles an hour and just do circles all day, the first time you hit a racetrack, you're gonna be taken aback a little bit. And it's natural, it's real, it's great. The best part about it is that you hit that kind of like new low spot and you have a new way to climb up. And then you start feeling like you're fast again and you move up to the next group. Most track days run 3 groups. You can have a beginner or a novice, an intermediate or a B, and an advanced or an expert or an A group, right? So A, B, C, intermediate, advanced, expert, novice, beginner, slow, fast, medium, whatever the groups are. They're different all across the country, but they're generally gonna run in 3 groups. You'll start out in the bottom and you'll make it to the top there to where no one's passing you anymore. Right now, you're not slow anymore, but you were the same way on the street. You bump up to intermediate group, you're gonna feel slow again. Not as slow as you felt back in the day in the novice group, group, but you're gonna feel slow again. Then maybe you make it to advanced group. The point that I'm getting at is that if you're not doing track days, you are not as fast as you think you are, I guarantee it. And you can ask anyone that's ridden a motorcycle on the racetrack. And I'm here to tell you that, yeah, I go do track days. I ride mostly in B group, intermediate group, and I can tell you that I am slow. And I'll be the first one to admit that. I'll admit it to anyone, and I am slow, and I know that because I've ridden with people that race motorcycles, club racing, and they'll tell you all day that they're not even at Moto America level. And Moto America level, people will tell you all day they're not even at World Superbike, and those guys aren't even at MotoGP level. So there's all these levels up here, so when you're watching your professional motorcycle race and watching those guys drag knee, elbow, shoulder, whatever it might be, you can't think that because you're fast on the road, you're one step below. There are so many steps. But I'm not here to tell you how negative everything is and how you're the slowest guy on the road. I'm here to tell you that you need to get yourself off to a racetrack, do a track day, prove to yourself that you are fast by doing the track day, or that, hey, I'm slower than I thought I was. I got a lot to work on. Let's work on it, and let's keep doing track days. That is the message of tonight. Now, when you're thinking about doing a track day, or you've got a buddy, that might be me, that's telling you, hey, you need to go do a track day, that's really what you need to do. Get yourself a motorcycle, do a track day, or you already have a bike, let's go do a track day. There are so many things that people think are in the way of you and doing a track day. One is a motorcycle. Yes, you have to have a motorcycle. Maybe. You might have a friend that would let you borrow one, but you need a motorcycle. Two is gear. People always think the gear is so hard to get, it's so expensive, and it can be a little bit expensive. Upfront cost, you're looking, if you're going brand new and you're going kind of name brand, I'd say $1,500 is like a safe bet, but that's pretty expensive. You can definitely go cheaper than that if you want to. I've got friends that have done it, and we can get into all of that. Once again, we talk about that on the podcast. I'd recommend checking those out. I'm just giving you a quick overview tonight, but that's number one. So let's say $1,000 to $1,500 for all your gear. That includes a helmet. That's upfront cost. You have a motorcycle, you get all the gear, now you're good to go, you need to do a track day. But people are like, aren't those so expensive? Track days generally run about $200, especially for your lower end tracks. If you're going somewhere like Laguna Seca, $400 to $500. You're going somewhere a little bit smaller than Laguna, but still pretty big, can be $300. But in general, your smaller, lesser known tracks that, I say lesser known because a lot of people that go do track days or club race, they're actually gonna know them a lot better. But the mainstream people in America and around the world aren't gonna know these racetracks, much like I don't know the smaller tracks in Europe because all I have is World Superbike and MotoGP to tell me about Europe. Europeans won't know anything about the tracks in America unless they've been over here and ridden, besides the ones that they're gonna see on MotoGP, World Superbike, and if they watch Moto America, maybe they'll get a few extra, right? It kind of just depends. If I watch British Superbike, I'd get more there, but we don't need to get into all that. What we're getting into tonight is the fact that when you go to these smaller tracks, $200 is what that's gonna cost you. That's it. The cost of gas, if you go through maybe one tank of gas in a day, let's see, 4-gallon tank, let's average it out to $5 a gallon, 20 bucks. So there's $220. You're gonna need tires. You probably already have tires on your bike. You're not gonna go through a set of tires on your first track day, I guarantee it. They will last you at least one full track day, so forget about that. We'll talk about that afterward, after you get addicted. That's it. Then you gotta get there. You can ride the bike there, 100% can ride the bike there. You don't need a truck, you don't need a trailer, you don't need a U-Haul, you don't need all those different things. You can take those. They make it a little bit easier depending on what your thoughts are and what people tell you and your friends and whatever. You can 100% go that route. I've talked about all those things before, but if you really want to, get on your bike, put your gear on, ride down to the racetrack. Someone there will help you out. You can get all this stuff done. And I have some videos about how to get your bike ready. I have some videos about all of those things, but the important part is that the money should not hold you back. And I promise that if you show up, one, you will most likely surprise yourself with how slow you actually are. But two, you'll find a new addiction and a new hobby and a new sport that's gonna keep you safer, actually make you faster, and eventually you're gonna start making those steps up. You're gonna get to where you're not just a C group or novice or beginner group, relaxed group, as some people call it, rider anymore, you're intermediate. And then you're gonna see people racing and people are gonna say, put a checkered flag in front of yourself, take 5 seconds off your lap time in an instant. That's huge, make you much faster. So what I'm really getting at tonight is that these motorcycles, super sport motorcycles, have the equivalence in power to weight ratio of very, very expensive cars, and they don't cost that much money. And you, for also not much money, have the opportunity to go prove that you have something out on the racetrack. And if you're not doing it, get on it. That is the message of tonight. Get to a racetrack, ride your bike, prove that you are fast, or find out that you're not, and make the steps that it takes to get it a little bit faster. So that's gonna finish this up tonight. That's really all I had. I know that was short, that was quick, but it's just my quick plug to say, get your bike, go to a racetrack and do a track day. And after you do a track day, keep doing them. And after you do that, maybe start racing. Once you start racing, like I said, it's a ladder. And I promise you, it'll change your life. It will make you faster. And if you've got chicken strips on your tires you want to get rid of, go to the racetrack. If you got a buddy that says he's fast and he can drag a knee, go to the racetrack. If you got someone that can beat you in a straight line all day long, take him to a racetrack. If you're tired of weaving through traffic and getting traffic tickets or running from cops or whatever it is that you might do, go to a racetrack. If you're worried about hitting a deer on your way to work, go to a track day. All of these things can be summed up. They can be fixed. Take your motorcycle, go to a track day. It'll change your life. That's all I have for you guys. Please reach out down in the comments below. Let me know if you have any questions, if there's any video that you want me to put out or any info that you want to put out, me to put out to you about track days, getting into it, whatever else it might be. You can leave me a comment down below. I'll answer it. I can make some more videos on that, or hit me up on Instagram at JKMoto Podcast. I will answer any and all questions. I've done it before, probably call you out on the podcast, but any question you got about track riding, I've been all over the country doing it. Once again, I'm definitely not the fastest guy out there or even close to that, and I'm the first to admit that to you. I've been at it all day. Some of you, if you came out to a racetrack, probably be just as fast as me, if not faster, right off the bat. Maybe not. You gotta come out and find out. But I have done a lot of track days, you got a lot of experience, and I have a lot of connections that I can hook you up with. We can get you out to a track day, so please, any questions, please reach out. I'll answer any and all of them, but most important thing, get your bike, get to a racetrack, do a track day. Let's see how fast you really are. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next week.